she has shared her knowledge with thousands of students in a variety of settings. Her background includes college teaching in bodywork, energy healing, and massage therapy, as well as 20 years of adult community education workshops and private classes. She has presented at many international venues and conferences, including Lilydale and the Chautauqua Institution, the United Astrology Conference, and Fellowships of the Spirit. Cassandra writes for several national publications and is a frequent guest on WNY radio and television, and is the producer and host of Cosmic Connections. She is an ordained minister and medium and founder of the Divine Grace Fellowship Church, which blends astrological wisdom with a healing ministry. She provides Facebook Live sessions weekly for the Cosmic Intelligence Agency, the world's largest astrological platform, where she reaches up to 1 million viewers a month. Yes, that is impressive. So without any further ado, I'm going to go ahead and turn this platform over to Cassandra Butler.
Thank you, you beautiful people. This is like coming home. It's so exciting for me to be here. See all you beautiful people. Wow. Who picked this song? The Blessed Assurance. Margaret, Nick, you guys are like on my wavelength. Because I'm going to start out today by saying, it's all right. It's okay. Because it doesn't feel like it's okay, in my estimation. All right, so in preparing today, I was looking at the principles, and like you, Jewel, I was thinking, my goodness, I've believed all this all my life. And one thing that's not in my bio, I started coming to Lilydale when I was 13. So this is in my blood, you know, it's in my soul. But I do other things, right? I identify as an astrologer, as a Christian, as all these other Taoism and Hindu. I'm just a hodgepodge, all right? And that's because of my South Node in Gemini, which is the sign of, well, let's put it this way, eclectic intellectualism. And today the moon is in the sign of Gemini. And does anyone see the moon coming in today? Wasn't that gorgeous? Not only were the colors of the leaves, but that beautiful moon was hanging in the sky. And we're in the full moon cycle, friends. So today I want to talk about a couple of things. I want to talk about the eclipses, the full moon we just had. I want to talk about principle number 6. We believe that communication between all planes of existence is a reality. And I want to talk about fear. So there's a lot to talk about. Number 1, last time I was here, some of you may have been here, was right after the solar eclipse of April 8th. Did anyone see that gorgeous spectacle? Yeah. It was awesome, right? Well, see, astrology really is a story. And the story of 2024 is to recapture our individual spark of individual sovereignty and to really embrace our beautiful individualism. What? Yeah. Because in April, we had the solar eclipse, which is the sun disappearing in the sign of Aries. And Aries is the spark of individuality, that piece that's unique to each and every one of us. Even if we get recycled and come back in another form, I believe, this is my belief, that there's always an essential core of who we are. And maybe we come back, maybe we don't. Who knows? I don't know. Well, that's my expression. It might be, you might have a more definitive explanation. However, the astrology serves me as a messenger to you of different concepts. So if 2024 was the year of embracing our uniqueness, that means we might have to give something up, which is what we call the eclipses that are mirroring Aries. So we had an eclipse on October 2nd. Nobody made a big deal about it, but it was in the sign of Libra. And Libra is about balance. So the story of the astrology in 2024 is that we started out with the fabulous eclipse that was seen, in this area. How cool was that? But then we complete that eclipse cycle on the 2nd of October in the opposite sign. Now, the opposite sign of Libra represents relationship. So, I want to talk about fear. So, in the sky, simultaneously, we have me, you, Aries, me, you, relationships. And then also in the sky, from September 1 until November 20th, so we're in the middle of it right now, is the planet of fear, manipulation, power, and death. Whoa, you're nodding, you know what I'm about to say. It's Pluto, the archetype that represents, I'm puffing here, this is better. Pluto is the, okay, that's all right. Pluto is the power planet that can be also equivalent to like Hades and death and destruction. He works underneath the scenes. So we've got these beautiful eclipses playing off this power and fear planet. And this is what I've noticed in 2024. If you haven't noticed, it's an E year, right? Election. Now, I know we're not supposed to talk about elections. I'm not going to talk about elections, but I'm going to talk about the fear associated with this time. So my message is blessed assurance. That's why I love this song. That's exactly what my message to you today is. Because life is eternal, life evolves, life grows, life is about love. And I've noticed since September that I-thou relationship, there's been some discord and some tension in the big room. I put my little finger up and I go, oh, everyone is like so worried and afraid about that date. And to be honest with you, I don't know who's going to win. Okay, don't ask. But I will say this, with blessed assurance, it's all going to be okay. It's all going to be okay. It's like we're digesting fear and we're digesting, will this be okay? What's the antidote? To go to where Aries falls in your chart. And I'll tell you where it is in this little, these are my notes. But go to where Aries is in your chart. Now, what do I mean by that? Any Aries people in the room? All right. So this is very personal to you. But we all have Aries somewhere in our matrix. And to tie that into the spiritual precepts of this beautiful community, I would draw your attention to number 6. We're always in communication. Oh, right, I'll read it here. We believe that communication between all planes of existence is a reality. I was really meditating on that precept, that principle, all this week in anticipation of seeing you. Because when I read this, and I'm sure one of you read this, you think in terms of talking to spirit and communicating with beautiful loved ones on the other side of life, which of course mediums do. But if you really look at that, from my perspective, I see the word plane, which is where we get the word planet from. So in my worldview, the planets are like communicators to us. And so we have a solar system. We have all these beautiful planets zipping around. We have the biggest planet of all in the sky, right next to that moon right now. It's called Jupiter. It's the planet of abundance, the planet of optimism, the planet of mindfulness, the planet of travel, education, and it's connecting with our emotions. That gives us very much optimism this year, wherever you find Gemini in your chart. So at the end of the day, at the end of this year, go to the optimism no matter what the event is outside of there, and go back to your Aries self. My message to you is, it's going to be okay. It's going to be okay. Because each of us are learning how to be okay with our unique self. Now, to be okay with our unique self means we don't have to think, do, or have the same opinion as our neighbor, as our spouse, as our friends do. It's okay if we have differences of opinion, because that fear planet is saying, if you don't think, do, and act the way I am doing, you might lose something. You might die. The country might die. The world might die. That's an illusion. Because we're in this very special time astrologically, which is stirring up the pot of fear. So when I saw blessed assurance, I'm thinking, yep, that's what I want. That's my message. Goodbye. I want to go a little deeper with this. All right, so has anyone studied, well, I won't say that's okay. Martin Buber was a wonderful philosopher, a Jewish philosopher. You may have heard that name. You may have his book on your shelf, Dust It Off. It's called the I-Thou relationship. And during 2024, we'll take the election right out of it for a moment. We may have had this polarization in our thinking, not necessarily out there in the big room, but regarding our friends or our family. Martin Buber suggested that a sacred relationship is I-thou. I and thou. We're different but equal. And that's what the lesson of this year of 2024 is, with the eclipses in Aries and Libra, to honor the differences and the similarities between the people we love and the people we don't even know, but to respect them in a sense of respectability. Kind of like the word namaste means, right? We all love that word. That's what the I-thou is about. The danger during this year, this past year, which only happens every 19 years, by the way, but it only happens every 600 years with Pluto, the scary planet involved as well. This is why this is a very big turning point. It is the worst thing we can do. To dehumanize in a relationship. Well, that person is just fill in the blank. That person is just fill in the blank, right? Which makes me think of the beautiful message of Taoism with that beautiful circle, right? The yin-yang symbol, where we have light in every darkness, and we have darkness in every light. Which leads me to another topic, which is coming in just a few more days, when we get into the death time of the year, right? Scorpio time. We call this fall for a reason. Even though it's a magnificent day today, this is Libra at its finest, Libra time of the year. The leaves are glowing, everything's beautiful, the sun's shining. When the leaves die and fall, we get into the scary time of the year, Scorpio, right? We celebrate Halloween, we put our masks on. We have all those, back in the day, a long days ago, when the only time I would be interviewed by the media was during Halloween, because they kind of plucked the psychics, the mediums, the astrologers in one category. Oh, it's your time to come out. No, it doesn't work that way. We're spiritualists all the time. Well, anyway, that Scorpio time of the year is also connected with Hades or Pluto, the planet that's forming this really weird angle in the sky. So this is the eclipses of 2024, Aries, Libra, and there's Pluto right at the central part. So Pluto represents, again, death and transformation, but it also represents resurrection, because with everything that dies, something else takes its place. So that's the other message to you all, which fits in so very nicely with our principles, right? We believe in spiritual progression is eternal and infinite, that things change and things come back and things leave. So for each of us, this year may have been a very tumultuous year with our relationships, because we're afraid of offending, we're afraid of losing someone near to us, because we might be different than they. Now that's a generic statement, but I would say that would be the lesson that we're looking at. I wanted to mention about the full moon. The full moon on this past Thursday, the harvest moon, anyone see that? This is so gorgeous, it's so big. And it's called the harvest moon because it looks like it's coming right to Earth itself. It's huge because of the way the seasons change. That full moon was in the sign of Aries again. And it was asking us individually to integrate our magnificence and to integrate our unique spark that we somehow became conscious or unconscious of way back when in April. So April was the beginnings, and this month is the wrap up of the story. I'm great. I'm great. Say that to yourself in the mirror tonight, okay? I'm great. And don't be afraid to think that you're a narcissist, because of course you're great. Creator made you. You're part of the great creative impulse of the universe. And there's no one that's ever been like you exactly. Even another version of yourself, right? In this embodiment. So that's the message I want to give to you today. It's going to be okay. It's really going to be okay if the Buffalo Bills don't win today. I know you don't believe me. I know the service is before the game. But it's true. It's like, I mean, how much of ourselves get impacted upon something exterior to ourself, which has really nothing to do with us in the long run. As long as we keep ourselves sovereign, celebrate yourself, embrace yourself. You're unique, you're wonderful, you're beautiful. I'm great, I'm great. And then integrate that and be okay if other people might not think you're so great because you are a spark of God. You're connected. That's the point. That's the message of 2024. Even though there's a little fear in the room, because that nasty little Pluto keeps on pounding us. And guess what? Pluto goes away. Well, it goes away out of Capricorn, which is the sign of governments, banking, and the elite, for another 250 years. We don't deal with it. But we've been dealing with it since 2008. And then it's Aquarius's turn. Any Aquariuses in the room? Wow, we're going to go through some powerful transformation beginning on November 20th. Okay, so this is how I reconcile the astrology, right? Astrology are planets, and we believe that they're communicating to us all the time, just like our Aunt Joe, Josephine, or Uncle Joe, Pinecover, that's my uncle, are communicating to us. We know that people are, and substances and ideas communicate to us from different planes. All right. Oh yeah, so I want to finish up by telling you where this integration of your beautiful self has been percolating since April. And then this week, the full moon was just on Thursday. So if you are an Aries sun sign or Aries rising sign, really embrace who you are in a new way and celebrate it. If you're Taurus or Taurus rising, the Aries energy is activating your spiritual gifts, your ability to meditate, your ability to talk to spirit, and to retreat from the maddening crowd. If you're Gemini, this integration of your beautiful self is in the realm of society, your friends, your groups, your ability to connect with others. If you're Cancer or Cancer rising, this energy this whole year is asking you to be a leader in your community or in your job, and be gracious and grateful for being who you are. No one else can do the job like you. If you're Leo or Leo rising, this Aries spark is in the sign of 9th house, which means travel, communicating your truth. Virgo is in the area of spiritual and psychological power. Great time for the Virgos to connect with their internal power. Libras, you're asking the universe to embrace your partners, your BFFs, your spouse. Scorpio, this is your year to get healthier, to take the steps to work out or eat better or move. Sagittarius, this year is all about your playfulness, your creativity, taking risks. Capricorn, it's all about your home, your family, to integrate that. Uniqueness, healing, by the way. Aquarius, it's about the way you're thinking, like embrace your unique thoughts, your unique way of communication. And Pisces, look at the ways you can become more abundant. Take your hobbies into income streams and manage your finances a little differently in a more positive way. So again, blessed assurance, friends, It's all going to be okay. Commit to connecting with your inner self and knowing that, you're a new person this year, each and every one of us. Okay, so many blessings to you, and thank you for your kind attention.
Thank you so much, Cassandra. I don't think that message could have come at a better time for all of us as I'm driving here and getting bombarded with political signs. And I even got a text just now, Jolene, vote, urgent deadline. Oh my God. So, you know what? It's all going to be okay no matter what. And I think as long as we love our neighbors, no matter what their beliefs are, then it's definitely all going to be okay. Loving your neighbor is the most important thing, I think, that we can do. So now is our time for the joy of sharing. So I ask for our ushers to go ahead and get the baskets in the back. And as they're doing that and coming forward, you may wish to just hold that gift that you have in your hand and just infuse it with love and positivity and blessed assurance that everything will in fact be okay. Allow us who have received so freely to give as freely in our turn. We know that it is the pleasure of giving that awards us the happiness of receiving. Thank you.